Welcome back, Irish fans, to Breaking Down Brace Boys podcast. Today we have another pretty cool episode. Today we're going to be interviewing Notre Dame assistant coach and former player Ryan Humphrey, Notre Dame legend. Nolan and Jake weren't able to do it, so I figured I'd introduce a new member of the team, and that's my guy Luke. So Luke, we'll just intro you real quick. So let's say your favorite Notre Dame player and why you like Notre Dame.
Definitely my favorite Notre Dame player is Prentice Sub because he's extremely smooth. He's got great moves and is an insane shooter. And I mean, I've always liked Notre Dame basketball and also the football team, but especially recently I've been going to a couple games and really getting into it.
Sounds good. So let's get into the interview. Welcome back, Irish fans, to Breaking Down Brace Boys podcast. Today we have another pretty cool interview with Notre Dame legend, assistant coach, and player Ryan Humphrey. Welcome. And today it's me and Luke interviewing him. I introduced Luke in the earlier segment. So thank you, Coach Humphrey, for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So we'll get into the questions. The first one I have is, which player that you've coached reminds you the most of yourself, like off the court or on the court?
Oh, man, that's a great question. And I think that's an unfair question because basically you're trying to ask me who is my favorite player in so many words. But I think I have similarities with all of the guys that I've coached. You know, for example, John Mooney, he's a quick jumper. Back in the day, I felt like I was a quick jumper. Jawan Durham is a defensive specialist. That's something that I prided myself in. The way Martin Gebben improved from his junior year to a senior year reminds me of myself. And the way Bonzie Colson, what he's been able to do as far as he found a way to win. Nate Lasevsky, just his his footwork and the way he plays. So all of the guys that I've been able to coach here at Notre Dame, I've felt comfortable and I've been able to relate with them.
That's a pretty good answer. I like that.
Yeah.
A lot of guys. Luke, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, so John Mooney credits you with like a lot of his success, and clearly you have like a great relationship with him. And like as like the draft is coming on soon and stuff like that, what would you tell like an NBA scout about him?
You know, a lot of teams have reached out. You know, actually I got a call earlier today from a team, you know, wanting to talk about John Mooney. And I say that it's no accident posting those numbers in the ACC. Not 1 year, but 2 years. You can accidentally, you know, get a double-double every blue moon, but the way he did it night in and night out, and, you know what, he finds a way. And he's always improving, and he's a student of the game. So, you know, in the right system, I think that he can flourish in the NBA.
Yeah, it was super, like, intriguing that he kept getting, like, double-double after double-double after double-double, especially in the ACC, such, like, a tough conference. It was really impressive. And so we just really hope we can get a chance in the NBA.
Yep.
So I was at the ACC tournament before it got canceled, the Boston College game. It was one of the weirdest sporting events I've ever been to. What was that experience and that whole weekend like for you guys?
I think just right now, everything in general, I think this is going to go in the history books. There's going to be an asterisk on this year academically, socially, and across the board. And so for us, we were just fortunate to be a part of history, because this has never happened before. And that's something that I've been trying to tell my own children. This is part of history. And you guys as well, you will never forget where you were at during this time, because you've never seen anything like this. And so, you know, it was an interesting time. We had just played Boston College, and we started hearing rumors and chatters around what's going to happen next. And it kind of spread like wildfire just throughout the arena, what was happening next. And we were on our way to shoot around. And, you know, some of us had our phones and we were watching, you know, Florida State was about to get ready to go play. And they kind of shut things down. And we're glad that it did, because right now, you know, our safety and the safety of our student athletes and the fans are most important.
When I was there, I was trying to do our game preview, like in the parking lot, and they shut the entire parking lot down. They wouldn't let me in. That's kind of when I knew it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was something else. And just even still today, you know, I just want to encourage people to be safe right now during this time.
Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, it was tough to like see this season end early like that, but it was good to like at least finish off the year with like a convincing win over Boston College.
Yeah, it was. It was an interesting year, and for our seniors to go out on a win and to go out to get 20 wins in the season with the things that they've been through. You got to credit our leadership with T.J. Gibbs, Rex Pfluger, John Mooney, and the older guys.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome. Yeah. So the next question, we were kind of confused about this. Like, does each assistant on the staff like specialize in something, or do you guys like all work together on similar sort of things?
I think Coach Bray does a good job on giving us the flexibility to work on individual things, but as a group, we collectively we recruit together. We break it up into scouts. Each assistant coach has different scouts, and we also work with just different perimeter guys and big guys. I work with the forwards and the big guys. Coach Ayers and Coach Bolanis works with the guards and the perimeters, but collectively we all kind of come together and we form game plans and we talk and we have different meetings. So, he gives us freedom to be an individual, but also work in the dynamics of a team.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool system. And so I just didn't really know about that before this. That's really cool.
So you talked about recruiting a little bit. What is the first thing you notice about a guy that you're recruiting?
Obviously you want to see if he can play and if he can play for us. Would he be a good fit for us here at Notre Dame? Because again, we've all seen guys that can play, but would he be a good fit for us here at Notre Dame, the way we play? We like to play 5 out. We like to move the ball. We don't like guys to kind of dominate the ball. And would he be a good fit? And could Coach Bray coach him? And could he be coached by Coach Bray? And those things are key for us when we go out and looking for recruits.
Yeah, it's definitely harder. It might be harder to recruit in Notre Dame because you guys have the academics there. So you got to get smart guys there and all that.
Yep, and the pool of guys that we recruit are different than everyone else. Like you said, you made a great point, just academically, but socially, and we want to make sure it's a good fit. And right now, you see the transfer epidemic. Everybody's out there transferring, and one thing that we want to do is make sure we recruit good kids and good families that want to be a part of the Notre Dame culture.
Yeah, you definitely got that. It works.
Yeah,
great kid, great young man.
He came on with me for an interview the day he committed. Really good guy.
Yeah, good deal, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So what can you tell us about the class of 2020 recruits and like Taylor, Zona, and Sanders? Like me and Joey, I mean, we've watched tons of tape of like, and it seems like a really great, like a great class that like focuses most on the front court.
Yeah, I think those guys will be great guys and great pieces for us. They embody the Notre Dame basketball culture, and I'm going to kind of just be vague because I don't want to set no one up for failure saying, well, Coach Humphrey said this. But, we're just looking for the long term for them to keep getting better and for them to buy into what we've asked them to do. As we followed them on the recruiting process, they all did things that exceptionally well when they were out there playing. But what really stood out was when they got off the court, just the young men that they were. So, we're excited about having them come into our culture.
Yeah, something like that I noticed is like they all bring like a different like specialty to the team and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the Sanders can really play like pretty much most of the positions on the court, and like Elijah Taylor's like a really, really strong guy, and Zona's a great post player. It's just like the variety that they brought to the team is just can't wait to see it like next year and stuff.
Yeah, and they give us more depth in different positions. So we're excited about the group we have coming in to mix with the older guys that's going to be led by, Nate Lashevsky, Dane Goodwin, Prentice Cormac Ryan's coming back, Robert Carmody. So we're Jawan Dorm as well. So we're excited about our leadership and where we're going.
Yeah, so, I mean, Robbie Carmody has had a tough time with, like, back-to-back injuries and stuff like that. So what do you think, like, fans can expect of him once he fully returns from injury? Because, I mean, what we've seen from, the high school highlights and stuff like that, he's, like, he can really take it to the rim. He's really strong with finishing and stuff like that. But what can you tell the fans, like, to expect from him?
I think that, he plays with a lot of energy and a lot of passion. He plays with, he's a defensive-minded young man and he's very athletic. And so we're excited, again, like you said, we just want him to get back and get healthy and taking his time because, for him, the way he plays, he puts his body through a lot of different things. And so for us, we want him to stay healthy and to believe that he's healthy mentally because a guy just coming from surgeries, I've been hurt a couple times, the body looks healthy, but where you are mentally. But we're excited about him because, one thing he's been doing, he's been working during this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like what you're saying about like he brings like the excitement to the team. I mean, like I remember watching like North Carolina game and like watching the highlights after the game as well. And like once Nate hit that game winner, like he was like jumping up and down and like screaming and like congratulating him. It's like just great team camaraderie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think if he was healthy for the majority of the season, that would have really helped us, to be honest, because we didn't. It's sometimes during the season we really needed to attack the basket more, I think, and I think he could have done that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. You know, the way he plays is different, and that's one thing that we try to focus on in recruiting is to get different pieces. You know, because everybody got different strengths, and the way he plays would have been a great compliment to Dane Goodwin or T.J. Gibbs or those guys out there.
Mm-hmm. So, not to take up too much of your time, we'll go to the speed round now.
Okay.
Kind of like the Mike Bray radio show, if you've been on there.
Gotcha. Yep.
We'll ask a few questions. So first, do you like country or rap?
Rap.
I have a feeling we might disagree on this, but LeBron or Jordan?
Jordan.
Yeah, I felt like you would say that.
You know, hey, I grew up in that era.
Mm-hmm. So this one's different. Did you like getting a basketball card? I've talked to a lot of baseball players, and some of them said they didn't like it because they had to sign a ton. But other guys think it's cool that they're on a card. What did you think about that?
I think it was a blessing to be on cards because, you know, growing up, you know, as a basketball player or an athlete, you know, we collected them, and I was fortunate to be on a few.
Which player messes with you the most?
Prentice Up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought you would say.
Yep.
What was your favorite game this season?
I would have to say, you know, North Carolina stands out because, you know, Nate hit a big shot. But I have to say the Boston College because we felt like it was our time to make a run. You know, last time we were there in Greensboro, you know, we won it. And so we were excited. We had momentum. So I'd like to say that one because we went out on top.
I think you guys definitely would have made a run if it would have kept going. So who do you think is the most underrated player on the team? I don't know if you want to answer this, but
I think a lot of guys are. You know, we have a lot of pieces, and each guy is individual in their own role.
So the rest of these are mostly outside of basketball.
Okay.
What are your hobbies outside of basketball? I know you have kids and stuff.
Yeah, you know, I like spending time with my kids. You know, during this time right now, I've been reading a lot, going to different seminars online, trying to improve every day, keeping a schedule. You know, I try to play Madden. I try to play 2K with my sons. I'm probably 2 and 200 during this time I'm getting wins. So, you know, I've been spending quality time with them.
You and my dad have something in common with that Madden record too. So.
Yep.
What sport would you play if you didn't play basketball?
I was a football guy. You know, I took visits to USC and I took visits to Michigan, you know, coming out of high school just for football. So that's what I would have played.
That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite NFL team?
No, I really don't. You know, I just kind of I root for players. It's hard for me, you know, to pick teams because, you know, guys come and go. I have respect for different cultures, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Cole Kmet just went to the Bears. I'm a Bears fan. Are you going to be an honorary Bears fan this year because of Cole Kmet?
You know, I'll watch him. I wouldn't say I'm fully on board with the Bears or anything like that, but, you know, I'll watch him and root for guys that I know.
Mm-hmm. So this is the last one from the speed round. Who is your favorite non-Notre Dame player in the NBA?
Ooh, currently right now, I got a lot of respect for LeBron. I think what he's been able to do, and also Steph Curry. I just like the guys that have been able to, you know, do things and do it at a high level. So I have to say those two. You know, Kevin Durant. You know, just the usual suspects.
I agree with you on the LeBron thing there. That's my favorite player too.
Yeah, he's a for.
But that's all we got for you. Thank you so much for coming on. This was big for us. And if you ever need the backcourt, like we said, for 2021 and 22, we got you.
Good deal, man. Thanks for all you do, and I'm excited to see what you guys continue to do in the future.
We appreciate it,
man.
All right. You guys have a good one.
You too.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later.